Mahardika is doing? Okay, great. So today in this class, we are going to talk about meaning shift. Does anyone know what meaning shift is? If you know, please raise your hand and give an answer. Does anyone? No. Great. Okay. So meaning shift is the change or shift the meaning of word. So in translation, it happens sometimes that the meaning shifted or the meaning changed. And why is that? It basically affected by two factors, the meaning shift in translation. It affected by the point of view and the culture. We are going to talk about that later, so let's move on to the next slide. There are several kinds of meaning shift. And I've got 7 kinds that I will present. The first one, meaning shift from general to specific. Meaning shift affected by culture, as I mentioned. Meaning shift first category, second category, third category, fourth category, and fifth category. So let's talk about the first kind. General to specific or specific to general. So when we translate from one language to another language or from source language to target language, sometimes the meaning change from general to specific or specific to general. When it happens when there is no equivalent word from source language to target language. For example, in English, land, food. But when we translate it to Bahasa Indonesia, it becomes kaki. In English, land and food is specific, but in Bahasa Indonesia, we don't have the equivalent word. So we call it simply called kaki. Do you guys get it? Yeah. General to specific or the other way? Specific to general. The next kind is affected by culture. So, mainly in this world, there are many cultures. Like in Indonesia, in English-speaking countries, Russia, China, we have all different cultures. And in fact, this culture are affected when we translate from one word to another word, or from source language to target language. For the example, in English, the spaceship traveled deep into space. But when we translate it into Bahasa Indonesia, it becomes kapal luar itu terbang jauh ke udara. You guys can see those blue words because English people, people who speak English see space. The further we go, the deeper we go. But we Indonesian see that luar angkasa semakin jauh we call it further, semakin jauh, not deeper. So the next kind is the first category. This meaning shift happens because of the lack of lexical element equivalent from source language to target language. For example, in English, your landlord or landlady will usually expect the rent on a fixed day, weekly or monthly in advance. But when we translate it into Bahasa Indonesia, it becomes landlord is still landlord. And we have to put some more word. We have to put some more explanation because we don't have the lexical equivalent meaning in Indonesia. So it becomes landlord, and we add some more explanation. As you guys can read, orang laki-laki yang menyewakan rumahnya kepada orang lain atau ibu kos. Anda biasanya akan meminta sewa harian, mingguan, atau bulanan di muka. So as you guys can see in English, landlord or landlady, but for landlady we can use ibu kos, but for landlord, if we translate it lexically like landlord, like the lord of the land, but it's not the case, right? It happened because of there's no lexical element equivalent in target language. So next, the second category, active to passive or passive to active. So why is that? Why we have to change passive to active? Why we have to change active to passive when we translate? It happened because in translation there is no right or wrong translation, but there's only accepted and unaccepted. So what kind of translation that is accepted by people? So the translation that is accepted is the one that can easily understood, the one that delivers the message. For example, so let's move to the example. In English, a nice controlled experiment is necessary to show that is true. Necessary to show it's an active voice. But when we translate it into bahasa Indonesia, sebuah eksperimen yang terkontrol dan baik diperlukan guna menunjukkan kebenaran hipotesa tersebut. So you can see the blue sentence or the blue words in here. Necessary to show it's active, but when we translate it into bahasa Indonesia, it becomes diperlukan. But what if we don't want to change it into passive voice? Let's try. Sebuah eksperimen yang terkontrol dan baik perlu guna menunjukkan kebenaran hipotesa tersebut. It's not wrong, right? It's still right. It still can be accepted, but which one is better? You know, which one that can make us understand, have a better understanding? So that's why we change the active voice to passive voice. Next, and also from passive voice to active voice. For the example, in bahasa Indonesia, saksi akan mereka tampilkan apabila terdapat klaim yang lebih kuat. But when we translate it into bahasa to English, I mean, they will bear witness to any inflated claim. You can see those blue words in bahasa Indonesia. Tampilkan is passive voice, but when we translate it into English, will bear. It's an active voice. Okay. Move on to the third category. Stating implicit meaning from source language become explicit in the target language. Again, in translation, there is no right or wrong. It's just accepted and unaccepted. So sometimes it happens when we translate from one language to another language, we add more explanation, we add more words, we add more statement, we add more sentences. So it can be understood better by the reader or by the ones who need the translation. For example, in English, in this sentence, another problem of coral reef degradation is actually beyond our direct control, associated with the global warming and El Nino effect. But when we translate it into bahasa Indonesia, masalah lain dari penurunan terumbu karang sebetulnya di luar kontrol kita secara langsung yang berkaitan dengan pemanasan suhu global dan dampak gelombang panas El Nino. So, in English, coral reef degradation is implicitly stated that the degradation of coral reef is the quality of the coral. So, when we translate it in Indonesia, we explain it explicitly. Mutu terumbu karang. So, we explain more that what is the degradation of coral? It's the quality of mutu from the coral itself. And also in global warming. So what is global warming? What gets warmer? What gets warm in this globally? So we explain it explicitly when we translate this word in bahasa Indonesia. It becomes pemanasan suhu global. Also for the El Nino effect, we add some more explanation. It's gelombang panas El Nino, and it's not just El Nino. What we explicitly stated that El Nino is gelombang panas. Okay. Next, the fourth category: proportional phrases, causal causes in source language become causal places in target language. It's the same thing actually. As you can see in the example, in English, people often turn to TV because of boredom. But when we translate it into bahasa Indonesia, it's still the same actually. Orang seringkali berpaling pada TV karena merasa bosan. People often turn to TV is the causes, and boredom is the causal. It happens. It's the same when we translate it into bahasa Indonesia. Orang seringkali berpaling pada TV sebab merasa bosan adalah akibat merasa bosan adalah sebab. Okay. So the last kind is the fifth category. Double negative sentence in short language become positive. Okay. Double negative sentence in short language become positive in target language. For the example, I think new transportation system will not last barely a year. When we translate it into bahasa Indonesia, saya kira sistem transportasi baru itu akan berjalan sebentar. As you guys can see, those blue words will not and barely. Those are double negative sentence in source language. But when we translate into bahasa Indonesia, it becomes positive. Akan berjalan sebentar. And why is that? It's the same thing. We need to deliver the message easily. We need to, make it easier for the reader to understand. So that's why it happens sometimes it become like this. So the translation can be set here by the community. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for attention. If you guys have any question, raise your hand. Ready to ask. Okay. No? Okay, if there's no any question, I will close the presentation. Thank you guys for your attention.